Good morning. We come to the last session with Khenpo Tenzin teaching us on the middle way Nagarjuna. Please check your phone if it's on silence mode. Thank you. We start opening prayer in the yellow book, page number 5. May all mother sentient beings, limitless of space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless of space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless of space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in attachment and aversion.
Dangwe doji shaje zan zhuwan jinja mada duje ponjong ba zirje lombo dawar jibega shaje jarbe jadungwe jan zar dorjin janjin delo naro dang marba mala juje gambo ba bamo zhiba jawan zhugong ba gajo lama namje da jonsh danen dene zira damje da lama laba la ye jizu zon la zon yon den jam zun ala wan den zhe don jen zhe bege le zo jen jen zaba lama jeje zon da je jen lan da 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 ge jen zhe bar zen je la do zo da zo lo ju zan zhe war zen je la do zo je lam den zhe war zen je la do Lam drawa zevar zinje labdo zon drawa yishi zonja war zinje labdo zo gange denje rewan yong gaba me ba je ba me ba da me ba wa me ba ro da de do me denje me zhiba nye she she den ba zo be zanje ma nan je dan ba de la shan zar do. Good morning, dear Dhamma friends. Okay, so about madhyamaka, I say we call middle way madhyamaka, and another name is the great madhyamaka, free from extremes. Free from extremes means there are the 8 terms. So free from extremes, when we say that, at that time there are 8 terms which are arising. First is arising, second is ceasing, third is being non-existent, fourth is being permanent, fifth is coming, and sixth is going, seventh is being multiple, eighth is being single. So then you should understand that during the madhyamaka teaching, teaching means for practicing madhyamaka, we will be free from 8 extremes, and then we are going to eliminate 2 graspings, grasping of self or individual, and grasping of phenomena. And then what should we recognize is we should recognize the indivisible, we should recognize the emptiness of the duality of subject and object. That is intrinsic awareness. So, in brief, for practicing madhyamaka, we are going to gain the realization of intrinsic awareness. And we are going to eliminate two graspings. And we are going to free from 8 extremes. So that is we should understand. And then we discussed about self-individual or self-grasping. And now we are a little bit discuss about the self-phenomena. So what is self-phenomena? Self-phenomena means actually we have fixation in our mind. Our fixation is, for instance, we think these outer elements, they are truly exist. But at that time we don't analyze how do they exist truly. But we just perceive they are truly exist. So through the logic of madhyamaka, we should understand that our perceptions are delusion, and those outer phenomena are not exist truly as what we see. For instance, we say arising. Arising means these summer time, different flowers, different plants, they grow on the ground. So these are the outer things which are arising from the outer elements. Yes, they are growing. Flowers grow on the ground. And then if we examining how do they grow, then we cannot find exactly the reason how do they grow. And then what happens is, if we examining more and more, eventually we can find emptiness. So that's where they are birthless. All phenomena are birthless. Means that in the Dharma words we use arising or something. In the reality, birthless. In the Heart Suttara, first verse, it says, all the phenomena birthless, deathless, and also speechless. So that means the emptiness, the quality of emptiness. That is the emptiness of quality. And where is emptiness? Where is emptiness? Emptiness is, we cannot say emptiness is somewhere, but emptiness provides everywhere. Everywhere. But we start from talking, we talk about emptiness. There is some reason. For instance, when we focus our body, we have many holes on our body. It's called pores. So that means our body is, in the reality, our body is like a form of dirt or form of sand. But we fixate our body. That is called I. And after then we fixate, oh, there is my house. And then we fixate there on a place. For example, there is my house on a place. That is self-grasping, self-phenomena, self-phenomena or grasping of phenomena. So that's where first we are going to a little bit understand the natural phenomena. In this case, natural phenomena means I don't mean like a fire's nature is what? Burn. But in this case, fire's nature, it does not mean like burning or something. We should understand the natural phenomena means inherently they are birthless and deathless. So if we recognize deathless, and then we free from death. If we do not recognize deathless, then death is existing. Death exists. So another name is what is the Lord of Death? Impermanence. Impermanence. Impermanence is the Lord of Death. In the 12 links of dependent origination, in this picture there is a like a wrathful deity who hold this painting, this 12 links in his mouth and the hands. We feel this is a very kind of some wrathful deity, but in the reality that is over impermanence. Over impermanence. He holds the samsara and samsaric beings in the mouth. That means he never release. We cannot free from impermanence. But when we realize the deathless, we will be free from deathless. Do you believe? Milarepa said that, oh, I'm afraid of death. So that's where I went to the mountainside. And then I meditate impermanence, which means I'm not sure when I die. So he said, frequently, often meditate on impermanence. Eventually, I found deathless. And then I free from the fear of death. After when you go back at your home, if you have a Milarepa song, you open that. Milarepa said that. So that's where is we say free from extremes means we should understand the birthless and deathless. Also in this 37 way of Bodhisattva, Garchen Tomi, he said that all the phenomena neither come nor go. So that's where I said coming and going are extremes. All the phenomena neither come and neither go. Never coming, never going. So, but right now we think all phenomena, there are birth, death, phenomena come and go, because we have a grasping. We have a grasping. For that reason, Chindakirti. Chindakirti is Nagarjuna's disciple. So he said that in his madhyamaka commentary. First say I and fixate is. After it says that is my head, my hand, and then Sonchun Chenda Rawang Mi Bai. Sonchun means probably you know that some dig gold under the ground, and they have small containers like a malas. It continually they get this dirt, sand with the gold, but another container goes under the ground and like garland like this. Sonchun Chendang Chintar, that is example. Rawang Mi Bai, no freedom. For example, I say, I don't want to secularly exist in this samsara, but I don't have freedom because I have grasping. So rawang mi bai. Drola means all beings. Ninja churgang delandu. So first he praised compassion. Compassion and compassionate being. Who is compassionate being? Shakyamuni Buddha, the Avalokiteshvara, and so forth. So that's where if we are going to make happy all the Buddhas, we are going to help Mother Sentient beings. How we just they have good health, they have money, they have a friend. Then why? How should I generate compassion? I don't think they want compassion, my compassion. Sometimes we think that, but they have grasping. For that reasons, we are going to free from their we are going to free them from their grasping. So first, we are going to generate compassion, and then after we when we generate compassion, the one time we can get two results. One result is we start to reduce our grasping, and another benefit is it benefits others. So sometimes we don't have anything. We think they have everything, so I can't generate my compassion towards them. If you have that thinking, then still we should generate compassion towards them because they have grasping. Sometimes one thing, I have nothing to practice generosity. I'm very poor. Then how should I practice generosity? What should I give? If you have that feeling or that perception, then it's exactly Buddha said one time. Buddha coming on the way, and he met a beggar. And then he asked Buddha, why am I beggar? He asked Buddha. Buddha said, you are a beggar because you have greed and you did not practice generosity. And then he said, what should I give to other beings? Because I don't have anything. And then Buddha said, on your face has a beautiful smile. So you give that. So there are many ways to practice generosity, forbearance. Forbearance means patience, and then follow the law of karma. Then we spontaneously cultivate merit. So that's where those we are always try to reduce to grasping, and we are going to gain this intrinsic awareness. Intrinsic awareness is in our mind. So if we free from for example, being permanent, that means if we are free from permanent, which means one thing, I don't have a conception or perception of permanent. I never think something permanent. But we have some perception of permanent. For example, you saw me yesterday, and today you see me, you think this is one person. But in the reality, this is not one person. Another example is if there is following a river, if we cross from here to there, and then we spend 5 minutes or 10 minutes over there, and then we come back, and then we think it's same river, but this first we cross the river, that part already gone somewhere. But so likewise, all of these things, each and every moment, step by step, change. Another name of impermanence is changing. Change step by step. In this moment, 65 parts moment. In this moment, if we divided that moment in different parts, there are 65 moments in this moment. So that's where each and every moment, everything change. Everything changes. So that means when we have a dualistic perception, there are everything existing and everything coming and going. So that's but through this way we can gain the realization of emptiness. If we through this way, if we don't try to gain the realization of emptiness, and then only we just wish one day may I gain the realization of emptiness, then it's just we are waiting for it, but this result is so far from us. But each and every moment we cultivate different merits through body, speech, and mind. We cultivate different merits. And also at the same time we are focusing in Buddha Dharma always says selflessness. How does it? And Buddha Dharma always says this emptiness. How does it? We are going to recognize that. So then this madhyamaka freedom, methods help us help us to realize the emptiness and selflessness. How does it help us is, for example, first we examining how those things as existing, and then we found those things are non-existing. After we found those things are non-existing, and then we should rest on there. So many times we don't know how to rest, even during the meditation. So Gampopa said there are three kinds of meditators. Some rest very well, then their meditation is great. Some rest not so well, their meditation, but still they try to rest. Their meditation is like a middle level. Some don't know how to rest, so that's where their meditation is less or weak or something like that. So when we always think, oh, there is a person, and then we try to be patient with that person because of that person's action or so forth, and then we cannot give rise patience because that person, we image that person, and then that person's we remember that person's faults. So at that time, if we think, oh, how I perceive there is a person, how this existing this person, if we analyze a little bit from his head or other parts of his branches, and then we cannot find there is a person, we should be honest, there is no person. Right after we should little relax. If you can relax or rest, so at that time your mind start to rest for a little while, and then if you can maintain this, then your mind realization increase. And but when you rest with the efforts, you think, oh, there's no person, and then you rest on this stage. And you are resting on this stage, and then you lost your attention. Again, you apply to realize this realization of non-person or no person. That is a middling level of meditation. That means you are apply the efforts, and then you are a little bit create. But you don't think that, if I'm when during the meditation, if I make some effort, if I apply diligence, this meditation is not good. Maybe you heard like that because I say like this. But that means first time you little bit efforts. First time you make efforts for a little bit. But then after for a little while, and then it naturally goes, maintain. At that time you don't make efforts. This is important. When you are maintain on the natural state of mind or selflessness, again you examine, do I rest on the selflessness, or am I resting on natural state of selflessness or not? If you think that, then it destroys your meditation. So that's where many practitioners has two thinkings. One, for example, one group thinks analytical meditation is very important, and then always examining, and then there's no time to rest at ease on the natural state of mind. Some think, examining during the meditation, we examine something, we analyze something is not good. So that's where the examination or analytical meditation is not good. So another group think like that. So that's where then always we cannot reach on the perfect stage. So first you little bit exam on a person or house, or for example house. If you think there is a house or there is a tree, when you see a tree from little far away and you focus at the tree, there is a tree. There is a tree, and then after what we do? In generally, we nothing to do. There is a tree. We don't do anything. So that's where then there's a tree, there's a tree, there's a tree. It's always we build this imprint in our mind. Then then some says there's no tree. Tree is emptiness. Then we start to ask ourselves, how there is a tree? Because the thinking of there is perception of there is a tree, this perceiving, this perception is very strong. Because always we think there is a tree. So now, during we practice madhyamaka, when we see tree, there is a tree. This is our samsaric perception, normal perception, general perception. And then we little bit come close the tree, and then we start to examine. I think there is one tree. There is a tree, single tree. And I look from Lama house to here. When I look at the tree, there's one form or one tree. But I came near this tree, then there are many. This tree has many branches, many leaves. So what I saw from far away and what I see here is different. So that's where can we believe our perception or not? Similarly, right now we look at the moon, we see is a bread, round, like a bread, very thin, almost okay to eat. But if we come close or use this telescope, and then this the moon is different as what we see. So that's where we understand the qualities of our perception. And also, as I said, the trees, we come close the tree and then we figure that out. There is many branches. So that's where you bring back a first perception. First perception. What is your first perception? First perception is that there is a tree. You have this perception, yeah? And then you come near the tree and you see many kind of branches, leaves, and then compare with those perceptions. It's totally different. So that's where which one is true. First you see one form. Is I deluded about that. When I went to monastery in Garchen monastery, and my father took me there, and I was very homesick. My father has a big horse, and he put many things, like food and a blanket, everything put on the horse, and then he rides horse. So we come like this way. My nomadic home is a little far from monastery, but the real home is very close, the Garchen monastery. So then my father took me in the monastery and then leave me there. Then I have one teacher. He is very serious. I'm so scared, and so that it made more homesick. He let me memorize many texts. Then every evening and morning, I look at the mountainside. There are little mountain, small mountain. There is a tree, actually a tree. The lower part, there's no branch. The top, there's some branch like this. I always think this is my father. He come to see me. And I look in more carefully. Sometimes it's move, and sometimes not. Then it's the wind blow on the eyes and cries. I really deluded like that. So it's similarly, right now we think looking from far away, or there is a tree, and then we come to close the tree, it's totally different. Okay, this is about a tree. Then our problems. When you have some problems in your mind, so you should look at this problem. You are going to look at this problem. It depends your level of practice. If you think you don't want to examine and just watch that problem, and then you can see the essence of this problem. So that means when you see the essence of that problem, and then that problem is not problem. The essence of problem is emptiness, clarity. So that's why then you can free from that problem. For you have it's engaged different problems because of jobs and because of family situation, friend situation, and one's healthy situation, and so forth. So anytime you should understand that emptiness is about a philosophical conversation. This is not my kind of medicine of mind. If you think that, then of course it cannot help. If you apply continually, it really helps us. So that's where Buddha says, you are your own protector. So when you will engage some problems. Always you start to watch, just watch it. And when you watch that problem, and there your attention is not powerful, if your attention is so weak, then you start to apply madhyamaka idea. You examine that what is this problem. Number one, you found that it comes from my karma. This is a karmic result. And then after you can be happy. How? Because some negative karma happens right now in this life. They easily exhaust. Our precious human life is like a sunshine. And if you wet your clothes by some water and you put in the sun, it will immediately dry. If you are going to dry up your clothes and put in a very some cooler place, it's possible it will not dry. Instead, it will something happen. Likewise, right now in this precious human life, when we possess precious human life, if any other kind of karmic result occurs, you don't upset too much, and you should be happy. It immediately melts those negative karma and karmic results. For instance, like there is a hot stone and you drop small water, immediately dry up. Otherwise, if we are going to rebirth in the lower realms for experiencing those negative karmic results, at that time there are inconceivable suffering. So when you have some obstacles and problems, you should be strong. And of course, you don't have this problem, but for the benefit, committed suicide, those are when very challenging, suffering and obstacles. This obstacle, that obstacle, or thinking other methods, that's where they then committed suicide. Especially young generations, in the young generations, it's happened many times. So that's where we, when some occurs, are impermanence. Usually, impermanence and negative karma, we always think they are negative speech. Impermanence is not always negative. If we some obstacles, that obstacles are also impermanent. So that's where impermanent is good. And some too much attached this life, too much attached our position, then so we should practice about impermanence. So meditate is one. We are looking at our body. Okay, our establish 5 aggregates of form, aggregates of feeling, aggregates of perception, aggregates of formation, aggregates of consciousness. It's established 5 aggregates. These 5 aggregates establish 5 elements. So for that reasons, when during the death to each other, those elements dissolve each others. For instance, when the earth elements dissolve into the water elements, the outer sign is our body is very heavy It's not so fresh like a normal, in generally what we experience, and as well as this water elements dissolve into the fire and dry up over this the nose and mouth and so forth. That's where body establish the elements and eventually they dissolve each other. These elements are dissolve each other. So right now we establish five elements, and we practice generating stage same. And then as I said yesterday, this generating stage or visualizations are fabricated, but it does not mean bad things. Fabricated thing, that means dissolution. This is intrinsic awareness. This is natural dharma dhartu, tathangata garba. So for that reasons, there's this death process is and dissolutions are same. So these elements, the earth elements dissolve into water, water elements dissolve into fire, and fire elements dissolve into air elements. Air element or wind elements. Wind elements dissolve into consciousness. Consciousness elements dissolve into the empty space. That empty space is actually this the dharma dhatu space. But at that time, if we understand that, we reach on the dharmakaya stage. Usually we think in the madhyamaka school says 2 kayas. Generally in Vajrayana teaching we say 5 kayas. Most of the time 3 kayas. But in the madhyamaka teaching, kaya and rupa kayas. Rupa kaya means nirmanakaya and sambhogakaya together. So that's where many times we think, oh, Dharmakaya, to attain Dharmakaya hood is so far, so difficult. But in the reality, to attain Dharmakaya stage is the easiest thing. Only you are going to recognize it. So that's where Manjushri Namasankiti, it says, moment to moment, one becomes enlightened. So we many times we attend Dharmakaya stage, but we are not stay there. We come back. So that's why this morning I bring Gampopa's three words. You are going to rest at ease. It's very important, especially this madhyamaka teaching helps you to maintain your attention. Right now, our attention is like a candlelight in the wind. If we turn our candlelight in the wind, it's moving like this, yeah? And our mind is a monkey on a tree. Our mind is like a flash. So it's quickly move, quickly fly, quickly down. So if you madhyamaka method is established, first you start examining phenomena and examining those, things. You are little less interesting, because first your memory is I'm going to meditate, but then you start to examine, seems your mind start to work. That's where you have less interesting. But at that moment it gives some potential it gives power to your attention. Your attention becomes like a very sharp arrow. If you sharp arrow on a tree or somewhere, it will stay there strongly, because this bow and arrows are perfect. You prepared perfectly, and then you shot that the arrow. It's go very straight. This is important. When you shot this arrow, it's going very. Attention has a power. Then you very kind of flexible, easy to move. If you are meditating here, somebody say something here, your mind goes there. So that's always first you little bit apply, examine, but 24/7 examine is not good. Always you examine is not good. So you give and then you start to rest. When you start to rest on the object, whether selflessness or emptiness, any in the reality, but there are different ways to establish. It or same meaning of simplicity. So when you rest, you rest like your hand on your knees. There's no worry anybody take away that, and then on you rest your hand on your knees. At that time, there's no kind of very sharp things. So after then you don't press down your knees by your arms. If you press down strongly, it hurts your knees and your arm both. So just place there, and then that's all. Likewise, when you place your attention on the phenomena and just let it rest very, very, how to say, clearly, and rest it. It is the naturally. If you can rest this is naturally, then it's called rest unfabricatedly. So not create anything, just rest there, and then it's the nature phenomena arise there. So clarity, you say you are going to improve clarity. So when Guru tells you how to relax, how to apply method to gain the realization, you should follow exactly. Then impossible is possible, means that. For example, right now somebody bring to me some bunch of thorns, and they say I should eat this. Can I eat? I cannot eat. Even I cannot touch. But horse, do you have experience? Horse can eat thorn, especially in some higher altitude. There are very thick snow, and then there's no grass, but there's some thorns. And horse the tongue and our tongue is same, very soft. Of course, their tongue is a little bigger than us. Otherwise, same. But they eat thorns. I know that, and after I studied Dharma, it helped me a lot. How should we do is important always. So horse can eat thorns. Likewise, we can establish selflessness within the self-grasping, within those phenomena. So always there's when a guru introduce the nature state, how we gain the realizations, there are special understanding. You try to understanding that, and then you apply, and you apply those ideas, and then you can understand. Then there are many simplicity, clarity, unelaborated, tathangata garba. They all same meaning, But when we establish, there are different methods. Even, for instance, we say simplicity. What is the opposite of simplicity? Bizarre. There are everything. There are lots of things. That is, they are not simplicity, but we bring some simplicity here, and bizarre things put here. Then that is not skillful practice. So we are going to dissolve this bizarre thing, or elaborated things, phenomena melt into the simplicity, and then our clarity at that apply the don't at that time I do, and you always waiting for that. This we call the laziness. There are three kind of laziness. One laziness is one thing. Oh, I can't do. I'm not a good practitioner. I did not study it well. I did not follow some holy gurus, so I don't know. Don't think. For practice dharma, you want confidence. So you are going to avoid that laziness. Another laziness is what? Another laziness is okay. I really, it's important to understand simplicity, to gain the clarity are the important, but I will do one day. You today you think I will do it tomorrow. Tomorrow you think I will do it day after tomorrow. So then this time is flying, and then our busy schedule is always busy. So that's where we take opportunity to practice, meditate. Even you are in the bus, you are in the kitchen, you are in your office, you try. It's the meditation method in Mahamudra says short and sweet. Short moment, do more. Meditation is that. Lord Jigten Sungu said, and same like Kunchen Lungchenpa said, meditation is not meditation. Meditation is not meditate. But meditation means become familiar. Familiarization or become familiar. Familiar means repeatedly do that again and again. So then today our time is almost running out. So I will just in case on for your feature, there are 5 great reasons in the madhyamaka terms. I will tell you briefly. Okay. So the first is plural. This is the first logic to establish selflessness and emptiness. The second, employee, the Vajra, changeable. So that's why we say this first, this Mother Earth is Vajra of the wind. And then there are gold, then step by step. The Vajra droplet, if this Vajra droplet hit on the mountain, think, oh, something permanent, something